Hello, this is DarienX. Welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to show you how do I make a studio video shoot with a model. Using relatively inexpensive and portable equipment that even fits in a gym bag. It contains the camera, the lights, about 8 cheap LED lights from John New, a box of Sony batteries, the stands and some accessories. I will be using a small Sony A6000 with a kit lens first, and then move into a Canon with a metabones adapter. And of course the model. The lights I'm using right now are from John New, because they are really cheap compared with other brands. I have two with 600 LEDs that are bicolor and has a remote. The other 6 are just 600 LEDs daylight. I put them together with some adapters to have a more strong light, and I will use 2 white transparent bouncer diffuser. And we're set. And the first thing is to know your lighting. How do they work, how they bounce on the location, how are the shadows. You will notice that direct lights make harsh shadows, and if you use a diffuser in front of it, it would make it softer. And the distance between the lights and the diffuser will affect those shadows. So it will be up to you to decide how it will look better for your model. And also changing the angle of the lights will have different effects. I like playing with the backlights because it gives more shape and silhouette to the model. It enhances her skin, sometimes making the illusion to give more tan skin. And it also helps to separate her from the background. You can see and compare the effects the backlight is giving to her body. Then I ask her to turn around and check how the lights and shadows looks on her. And I start recording to check everything looks good, the exposure, the contrast and the white balance. Every model have some good angles for lights and shadows than the others. For example, this model have a great abs and torso, so I play with the lights to enhance it to look more pronounced. You can also bounce the light to a wall to give her a more soft shadows, or bounce it to the roof if it is white also. That helps especially if she's looking up, or you can put the lights direct like a spotlight. The way to light a model is very up to the photographer's taste, to play and see which one looks better to the model. You could play with just one light on a minimalistic style, or like this. Many fashion and glamour photographers play with 4 light settings, 2 in front or sides and 2 in the back. You could also play with different white balance on each light to give an effect or sunset or sunrise. And after a little while of testing and practice, you could start recording the best ideas you found during those tests. Then I changed the kit lens from the Sony and put a Canon 50mm 1.4 with a metabones speed booster. It gives a more shallow depth of field to look more cinematic. This is another setting with just 2 direct lights to the side. It gives more shadows if she is between the 2. It gives a darker skin and makes the illusion that she is more fit. I direct her to keep her body in front and just plain turning her head to the sides, so the lights on the side don't give her shadows on her face. And then I test the same 2 lights, but now bounce to the white walls. This gives a different effects because now the background has more light and she looks like she got a suntan. This is another common setting, using 3 lights, 2 in the back and 1 light overhead bouncing the ceiling. It's very well used on glamour magazines and even men magazines because it looks like a real natural lighting, but enhancing the body with the backlights. This is one of my favorites because you can put the models on any angle and it would look good. The backlight shapes the hair, the breast, the butt. And if you have a fan, you can use it to give it a more dynamic volume to the hair while in movement. And if you shake the camera, it will give you more action to the take. This is another lightning trick I learned by accident, putting one light behind the model. If the model moves a little to the sides, it gives a nice flare effect. But it also depends what kind of lens you're using. Some lenses are prone to give more lens flares than the others. Playing with the aperture gives a different straight of light. And one final trick I use a lot with my models is the famous baby oil. Not only gives an even more shine to the skin, it makes her look really sexy. So combining all these lights, shadows, baby oil, poses and angles, and then editing and selecting the best of everything, you could get a really nice video shoot. And a special thanks to the model Michelle Bravo for posing for us and to show how easy to make a nice video shoot. And now, let's enjoy the final result.